Curry flour mill. These feed mills, flour mills, were important not only to the local farmers, but also to such places as the iron plantations. Colebrook is a perfect example. Colebrook out of Colebrook, PA, is where the original Robert Coleman, when I say original, he's the one that sort of, everybody seems to know, and sort of started the Coleman dynasty in our county. He actually built that furnace there. And as part of that plantation, not only was there an ironmaster's house, but there were other buildings for the workforce, as well as a grist mill, which still stands over there. For how long, I don't know. It's in pretty rough shape. But anyway, that grist mill was used to benefit that plantation, but also the local farmers around the area. The mill history is currently not really well known. What I could find out about it is the earliest name of the mill was the Londonderry Mills. Just so you know and have a vantage point, if you're familiar with where Railroad Street is in Palmyra, it is on North Railroad Street, right next to the railroad tracks. I don't know if it's still operating. It had been sold, and I'm not sure at this point it's still operating. We'll have to, I hadn't had a chance to check into that for sure. But anyway, as far as I know, the earliest owners that I could find around turn of the 19th or the 20th century, excuse me, was Hoffer and Bumberger. Then it kind of went to a David Kreider, also to the Early family, which was very well known in that area. Mr. Early took on a partner by the name of John Detweiler, and basically John B. Curry and Sons were owners of the business in 1915, and that's probably about the time that became then the Curry Flour Mill. John K. Curry and Sons Feed and Coal was the name it operated under in 1960. So not only as a feed mill at that point, but they also added the coal business as well, probably just to support themselves because they couldn't support just on the feed production purpose itself. In 1985, the Curry Flour Mills was under the ownership of Ronald Sievers, and of course, up to date, I really don't know where we are with that. This wooden box, and you look at it and say, oh, that's just a wooden box. Well, a number of years ago, we did a history on Lawn, Pennsylvania, and we found out that there was a collapsible box factory there. And I'm thinking collapsible box, I'm thinking the cardboard box that you hold. Well, this box, now it's in the upright position, but basically what you would do is you would lift the lid, and each of the sides come in, and then it flattens. So what you could do then is you could put more into a railroad car. Like for instance, if you filled it up with bread or whatever you would put in it, once you were done, then you could collapse it and fit more in and bring them back to fill them back up again. As far as we know, the collapsible box factory was in business from 1923 to 1932. They also made wooden axe handles, as well as, they called them picker sticks, that's what the one guy told me, for the garment industry. And I'm not sure if it had to do with moving the shuttle back and forth, or if it had some other purpose, but they also made those as well. Other manufactories that kind of come to mind in terms of box-related factories, we actually had two in the county that I've been able to find, we may have had more, was the S.E. Meyer Packaging Company, that was up in Palmyra, which that I don't think exists anymore. And also the Lebanon Box Factory, which was over here. The building still stands there on the corner of 12th and Cumberland. As one lady who used to work there, she said it was called the Boxy. That's what they called it. They eventually moved to Jonestown, and I don't think that's in business anymore either. So clearly we've lost that type of manufacturing, as well as the printing industry really has subsided as well. We do not have as many large printers as we used to. Places like LVO, Boyer Printing, Sowers Printing, they're all completely gone. The only one we have left is Color Tech, and I think they only began business sometime in the 80s. So truly, you can see with business, it sort of has a cycle. It kind of goes through its cycle. It begins, and then it kind of ends, and then other things take its place.